All right, here's Wednesday's review. Let me give you some hints in case you've forgotten how to do the problems. Hopefully, be maybe a little quicker than looking at your help. Okay, so number one has to do with rescaling and shifting. So if you remember, a rescale will change all of your summary statistics, but a shift will not change your the measures of spread, which are the standard deviation and the IQR. So on here, you're going to everything gets multiplied by 71, and then you subtract 150 only by the things that are not standard deviation or IQR. So the lowest score is going to be 21 times 71 minus 150. I got 1341 on that. The mean is going to be 28 times 71 minus 150. We got 1838. Standard deviation is going to be 3 times 71 and just stays there at 213. The third quarter is going to be 30 times 71 minus 150, 1980. The median is going to be 25 times 71 minus 150. And the IQR is going to be 6 times 71, and that's 426. Okay. All right. This one is a question where I want to guarantee 98% of the jobs meet the guarantee. So the modeling company prides on their quality work, and their average is 137 labor hours with a standard deviation of 5 labor hours. And we want to know what he needs to bid to make sure that he can expect to meet 98% of his jobs to meet the guarantee. Sorry. So, anyway, this is one of the problems where we'll use our calculator. Let me scoot over and show you. I can split the screen, but when I'm recording, for some reason, it doesn't do it. So that's why I'm moving everything around by hand. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to do second vars. Oh, that didn't work. So second vars. And we're going to do the inverse norm, which is 3. And I know your calculator does left, center, and right. We're going to just do left on this because I want to go from 0 to 100 from left to right. And the area here is the percentage, which is 98%. So it's going to be 0.98. The mean is 137. The standard deviation is 5. So then we'll come down here and paste. And we get 147.26. So you always want to round up. So it should be 148. Not the closest, but always round up from this number. Okay. All right, the next one is you can do this one without a calculator. When you have a z-score, that means a 1 z-score is 1 standard deviation. So if the average was 74 and the standard deviation is 6, if your z-score was 1, that means you're 6 points above 74. So that's going to be 80. Okay, the next one, I know they want you to figure out which z-score is bigger on the absolute value, um, but you can actually just see which number is further away from the average. So is 1,000 further away from 1051, or is 1250 further away? And you can see 1,000 is only about 51 away, and 1250 is almost 200 away. So that one is definitely going to be more unusual. Okay, on this one, it says, what interval would you expect the central 68% of the exam scores to be found? So this smallest area is 68, the next one's 95, and then the largest one's 97. So be careful about the arrows. So I could ask you about any of these percents. So 68 is going to be between 90 and 110. And that says, what percent of the people should have exam scores below 80? So I look at 80, and it's outside of the 95%. I know it's a little tricky to read these. So, so this one is the 99.7. So this is 95. So it's half, it's like 2.5%, because you take 100 minus 95 and then cut it in half, because you have the same on either tail. So it should be 2.5%. And then it says, what percent of the people should have exam scores above 130? So I look at 130, and it's at the third standard deviation. So that is outside, half of what's outside of the 99.7. So it's 0.3 in half. So that's actually 0.15%. So a very small percentage. Okay, number 6, the last one. So we're going to use our calculator with this one again. And there's a couple of different ways to do the first one. I prefer to do the leftmost with 95%, because the highest 5% means you scored higher than 95% of everybody else. And I think a percentiles is going from left to right, from 0 to 100. So I'm always looking at it from the left side. Um, so I'm going to go back to second vars, inverse norm, which is 3. And my area here is, I want the left side of 95%. So I'm going to change that to 95. My norm is 105. Okay, it's being difficult. And then 20 is my standard deviation. And then I want to do left. And so I'm going to go down to paste and enter. And it's 137.89. The one decimal place is 137.9. Okay, the cutoff point for the low is 30%, so the lowest is still the left. If you wanted to do the right, you would just do right 5% on the first one. I just prefer to look at everything from the left. Okay, so second vars, which did not work again. Second vars 3. Now I want to change this 0.95 to 30%. My mean and my standard deviation stay the same. Hit enter one more time. And then my score would be 94.5. All right, and the last one, you want the middle 80%. So on your calculator, it's nice that you can do the center, and I'll do the center on this one because it just makes it easier. Second vars, because otherwise you have to do it twice. 3. So I'm going to change it to the middle 80%. So I have 80 for my area. I have the same average and standard deviation, and now I want to do center. Okay, and then paste. And now it's going to give me both of my answers. The left side is going to be 79.4. And the right side is going to be 130.6. Okay. And that should do it. All right. Have a good rest of your day and see you tomorrow.